Almost a year ago, I built myself the best physique I've ever had in my life, and I lost it in 2 weeks. You see, I was on the carnivore diet. For 40 days, all I ate was meat, butter, and eggs. Like, similar to Jordan Peterson's diet, you know? I think he just ate steak, salt, and water, and that's it, man. I had like seasonings and stuff, so I wasn't completely torturing myself. So I did that challenge, and what happens is, when you don't eat carbs, you lose so much water weight, because I think it was per gram of carb you eat, like daily, you retain 1 gram of water as water weight. And that water goes on top of your muscles, right? And then I'm giving you the bro science right now. I don't know the real science. And you look less defined, you look like you have more fat on you. But since I was eating no carbs, I'm just eating meat, butter, like just protein and fats, I completely lost almost all of my water weight, or at least all the water weight that was held by eating carbs. But I lost so much water weight, and that led to, even though I didn't have that impressive of a physique, like I wasn't crazy jacked, I looked 10 times better just because I looked more defined, because I had that layer of water taken out. You know, my face looked more carved, you know, I had like a better jawline and all this. And my abs, that was the big thing. My abs looked insane. At least to me, man, they looked insane. I still remember being in my basement, like my home gym, and I filmed myself, you know, like flexing my abs and stuff, and I was watching it. I'm like, holy shit, bro. Because I always had like the skinny guy abs, but they don't count, man. Like, let's be honest, they don't count, and they don't look carved. They're not protruding out and then having that like carved definition. But then, of course, I wasn't holding this forever. I wasn't doing carnivore for the rest of my life, at least not then. So I did my 40 days, and then after, for 2 weeks, I had my 2 weeks to reintroduce myself to my usual diet, which, because, you know, I'm a skinny guy, I have to eat a lot of calories, which was my usual, like 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day. You know, normal foods that I have to eat to get to that calorie count. And I completely gained back all the water weight. My face was all puffy, my abs looked puffy, and that's the thing, my muscle mass didn't really change. I just gained all the water on top, and I didn't look horrible, man, but I missed what I had before. And I remember during this time when I was getting off the carnivore diet, and then, you know, having my more puffy face and all that, losing the jawline, the perfect jawline. I remember I was in the library of my school, which is where me and my buddies would hang out during lunch. And I saw this guy who was wearing a black wife beater, of all things, man. And he was hanging out with whoever he was hanging out with. He didn't have more muscle than I had. Just saying, like, straight up, he didn't have more muscle than I had, but he was very, very lean. He was very, very lean. Very low body fat, man. So he looked very, like, defined, even though he didn't have much muscle. But this guy was a skinnier guy. And I'm looking at, like, not to be a dick, right? But just, you know, being honest. But I was looking at this guy, and I was jealous of him, man. Because I looked at him and I was like, fuck, bro, I don't have that anymore. I don't have that definition that I had before. And then you have this guy here freaking, you know, flexing it off in his damn black wife beater. And then I'm here, you know, fucking reminiscing on what used to be. I became jealous of what he had and what I didn't have anymore, despite that not being my goal. Despite that definition and being on the carnivore diet not being my goal anymore. I have an older video where I talk about comparison versus competition, but I think there's an idea that I missed. So in that video I said that the difference between competition and comparison is action. So for example, comparison is, you know, looking on Instagram at jacked dudes and feeling bad for yourself. Inaction. Whereas competition is doing push-ups while thinking of that guy who's more jacked than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's doing something with that energy. But I think I missed something fundamental. It's not just action. The difference is also the right action. And I wrote this down. Competition is using others as energy or motivation for your action. But comparison is using others to take you off the path of your deepest purpose. In other words, me being jealous of that guy in the black wife beater, it was comparison. Even though it led to me wanting to, you know, get, you know, more defined again and going back on the carnivore diet and changing on my goals. That's just it, man. It led me to changing my goals just because I saw some guy who was looking better than me at the time. And of course, comparison leads to insecurity. Something that I realized to myself, which inspired this video, was I said to myself, I may not be the most jacked guy in the room, but I think I look good in a shirt. I think I can fill out a shirt decently. And that's all I wanted from the beginning. Like, when I first started working out in my bedroom at my old house, laying on a coffee table with my two 20-pound dumbbells, barely being able to press them up, man. Just doing like 8 reps and 4 reps and 2 reps on the following sets. Back then, from the beginning, I just wanted to put on some weight. I just wanted to look good in a t-shirt so I could walk around and not be insecure about it. And I have that now. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm crazy jacked or anything, but I have that aspect of it. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna, stop working out, or I'm not gonna take it seriously moving forward. And it doesn't mean I can't have new goals now. It just means that I need to remind myself to be grateful. I need to remind myself to be grateful for the progress that I made in the goals that I set for myself, to my original goals. And this is a huge mistake that I want to warn you of, right? Losing sight of your original goal by looking at other dudes in the gym who are on a cut when you're on a bulk, or vice versa. Or me the other week, man, looking at this thumbnail from the CEO of Testosterone, that YouTube channel. He changed his YouTube name to his actual name, which is like Jack something. I saw a thumbnail from one of his videos, and I don't even remember the title, but it was just him, being jacked with a bunch of chicks around him. And then for a split second, I'm just like, fuck, I gotta get more jacked. I gotta get more muscle, man. But then realizing that's not my goal anymore. Like, that's not my goal, like, to get a bunch of chicks and to, like, be this attractive guy. Like, I'm on different things right now. I have a different goal right now. I have a different purpose, a different focus right now. And I just let a YouTube thumbnail take me away from that, even though it was for a split second. You don't want to let temporary emotions take control over what you truly believe you should be doing. If you consciously decide to change your path, or to go after a new goal after having a realization or learning new information, like, that's fine. But if you're doing it because you see some guy for a moment and then bam, you just, I need to change this up, I need to do something different. At that point, you're not in control. And this isn't just for working out, this isn't just for exercise. Like, there's a bigger picture to this, man. How can we expect to deserve a high quality, loving girlfriend? How can we expect to deserve her when we're not holding up our end of the bargain? Like, if we can't even take a stand and commit to a goal that we're passionate about, something that we're passionate, that we want to do, exercise, working out, and getting jacked. If we can't stick to our word on that, how can we commit to a relationship and all the responsibilities that come with it? Do you get what I'm saying, man? Like, if we can't even do that for something that we want to do, like a goal, how can we do that for all the tough things that come with being in a relationship? Like the mistakes that were inevitably, fuck, man. Buddy, I'm too fucking retarded for this shit, man. How are we gonna deal with the mistakes that we're inevitably gonna make? How are we gonna be able to commit to this girl through all of that shit when we can't even do it for something that we want to do, like deep down, that we're like passionate for? You get what I'm saying, man? When we're flip-flopping on our goals and we can't take a stand to something, how are we gonna be the guy that she's looking for? How are we gonna be the future husband, the future high quality man that she's looking for? And the practical advice for this is to clarify to yourself your goal when it comes to working out, when it comes to exercise. And if you're having trouble with that, that might mean you also need to clarify your broader purpose. And then you take that and then use that to determine your minor purpose for the subject of working out or whatever it is. And that might be something worth journaling about, like articulating to yourself, okay, this is my goal here. Even if it's just for a few minutes, just writing it down. This is the end game here. And asking yourself the question, is it worth it right now to bulk when I'm trying to focus on my business work? If you have any questions, you can email me at johnnyselfimprovement@gmail.com. Don't be afraid to give up the good for the great. Peace out.